तो हमारे ज़माने में तो रेडियो भी नहीं था नहीं. तो I remember my family had the radio. So people used to come over to our house to listen to the radio.
What do you remember about partition?
The day partition took place and those people who were our neighbors, they suddenly became enemies. Gala kaat ke Hindu Muslims or they threw them in that nala. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Did you meet Liaquat Ali Khan also at some point?
We were having the best times of our lives going these nightclubs and also although it was a very Bhutto used to be there at Gourmet every weekend. I've seen he and his wife. There were only Indian movies. The Pakistani movies तो कोई होता ही भी नहीं था in the 50s. You won't believe अंदाज तो मैंने कोई 10-12 दफ़ा देखा होगा. अभी जाके तो dialogues तो by heart होते थे हमारे.
What do you think killed Pakistan?
Islamization. Sorry. Yeah. I first blame Bhutto, then Ziaul Haq, and then all these other chores that followed. This was at KPI Sports.
Oh, we shoot there now.
Yeah, here I am. So there was a team every year on our New Year's 21st of March. There is a sport, and I came first in cycling.
साइकिल चलाती थी आप?
I was all over Karachi. I used to cycle.
उस वक्त गाड़ियाँ इतनी होती नहीं होंगी शहर में.
And we used to live, you know, where behind Jubilee Cinema, Parsi.
Oh.
So my cousin had given us a gift. So it was a ladies' cycle at that time. So I used to go all over. Clifton जाते थे cycle पे.
Clifton जा रहे हैं. Time कितना लगता था उस time?
I'll tell you what, because we had a neighbor who had a motorcycle. So we used to tag. उसको एक के पकड़ के, especially going over the Clifton beach. In those days there was nothing, no. Both sides वो पानी आता था. पानी used to come over जहाँ पर अभी ये बिल्डिंग है नहीं, the Bath Island से पानी क्रॉस करके बीच में रास्ता था. तो पानी, the water used to come from the Bath Island from the creek side. On high tide, it used to go over the road and go on the other side. And there on the other side during low tide, there used to be horse riding there.
Sure.
Yes. And camel riding. But वहाँ पानी आता था. Just as you come down Clifton Bridge,
Yes.
there was nothing except that one Kavasji old building, beautiful bungalow.
Yes.
Columbus Hotel came much later. अभी Columbus Hotel तो है भी नहीं, वो भी खत्म हो गया.
So you're telling me there was nothing?
Nothing. There was just sand. Once you cross that path and you come towards New Clifton side, there was this little bagicha जैसा होता था. वहाँ भी पानी आता था. And then right when you go to the New Clifton का वहाँ पर church नहीं है, क्या है अभी? We used to call it New Clifton. There were some 3-4 Parsi bungalows there. Mota Palace.
Okay.
फिर Mota Palace used to be there.
Okay.
There was nothing. And some old bungalows, अभी वहाँ भी shooting होता है. एक पुरानी बिल्डिंग है.
हाँ, अब तो पूरा क्लिफ्टन में ही शूटिंग वगैरह काफी.
हाँ, मगर वहाँ पर एक पुरानी बिल्डिंग है, पारसी की भी वो भी. तो वहाँ बिल्डिंग होती थी और there used to be 3 bungalows. And afterwards there was a sort of a जैसा का क्लिफ जैसा होता था. We used to go in the evening there. फिर नीचे स्लोप होके जाता था, तो स्लोप there used to be sand, and then there used to be the Clifton beach, and we used to walk to that beach.
And in the evening you guys used to chill there?
Yes. And the other one was the old cliff. That was the old Clifton. The new, wait a minute, new Cliff. Old Clifton is the one वो जो पाथ है नीचे जाता है नहीं. We used to go there. That was the thing. And there was a restaurant called Sea View. उसका भी मेरे पास पिक्चर है.
अच्छा.
Sea Breeze restaurant था. वहाँ जाके हम लोग कॉफ़ी पीते थे. And walked down and there was nothing but sand. You walk and then you stand and there was the beach. So that was the thing. And I've got a picture of that also.
Okay.
1958 की ऐसा कुछ थी.
1958. What was happening around 1958 में?
58 में बस वही हम लोग वहीं जाते थे. There was just that bagicha there. Just when you go down on the sides, walk right up to, there was nothing there. No bungalows, nothing. We used to walk. And in one incident, I tell you, when I was in school and I was about 12 or 13 years old, Mama's school, just before the vacation, there is to be last day. Sorry if you're going to ask me this question, but these are the things that are coming back.
Of course. I want to know everything.
Yeah. So, summer vacation, winter vacation. Summer vacation आया और last day था. We used to party and all that. And suddenly, we get a news that there has been a very bad accident.
Okay.
Accident क्या हुआ कि 4 or 5 girls, senior girls, they escape होके they went to Clifton Beach to enjoy.
Oh, bunk मार के.
हाँ?
Bunk मारा.
Bunk कर दे. And then we came to the saddest news in my life, one of the saddest news, that there was a very major accident there. क्या हुआ कि they went into the water. They went into the water and there was a guy from the Karachi Aero Club who was the son of one of the big shots.
Okay.
Air Force का था. तो वो ज़माने में वो सेस्ना प्लेन
Yes, जो चलते थे हाँ उसमें white color.
सेस्ना छोटा वाला नहीं ऐसा हम भी बैठे हुए फर्स्ट. He saw these girls swimming, तो उसने he tried to show off. तो वो जब भी when they were right at the shore, वो आया, एकदम से नीचे आया. This I think 52 का होगा. You can always look up in the Google.
Okay.
वो आया उसको डराने के लिए, just wanted to show off. तो वो इतना ही जोर से आया तो वो डर गए तो they all went down. तो he said अभी तो और दबा. तो when he came the second time, इसका wheel एक का skull पूरा आधा निकाल दिया. And the other one also practically the same. And there were 5 of them. One of them is still alive. One girl is still my friend. तो 5 थे. 4 or 5 थे.
What happened to
The 2 days, and then he ran away. He ran off. He got scared. So one of them, she ran up to the Clifton Beach there because there was nothing else but sand. She ran right up to the क्या बोलते हैं अभी उसको जहाँ पर वो कोठारी परेड है नहीं यहाँ वो हाँ तो उसने help करके ले आया तो then they came and they took them. अभी तक मेरे आँख में वो I can see the scene.
That's
they were
tragic.
only 13 or 14 years old girls, senior girls. Yeah, and then because he was from a big shot family, पहले तो बहुत हंगामा, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
No, he became a big shot in the Air Force also later on. तो अभी का नहीं ये उस ज़माने से ये सब आर्मी का चल रहा है.
It's
One
very
sister
sad.
is still a friend of mine. She lives here only.
What was the scene in the school then? Because you were in Mama Parsi, what happened afterwards? Like,
because
did the
they
school
were all
take
in a
any responsibility? Did the school try to do anything about it?
No, at that time कुछ हुआ ही कुछ समझ में नहीं आता था. And we were, I was like 10 or 11, but these are the small incidents that I remember. And they tried, the elders, the Anjuman, tried their best, but कुछ नहीं हुआ. And then the Parsis are डरपुक. Especially अभी छोरो हो गया तो हो गया अभी क्या करेंगे. So one was and her name was Mani Berana, one who died, पूरा skull निकल गया था. Another one, if you remember, there was Dr. Dinshaw करके थी.
Yes. I remember her name. I recognize the name.
Dr. Dinshaw.
Yes, I recognize the name.
उसकी बहन थी.
That's very tragic.
Yeah, these are the.
I just don't know कि अभी अगर इस point पे ऐसा कहीं हो तो इतना इस पे outrage होगा.
Yeah.
Because we have social media, everything.
Yeah,
right
अभी तो
now.
उस ज़माने में कुछ नहीं था, नहीं कुछ भी नहीं था.
And most people don't know anything about it because
Yeah.
news वगैरह भी इतना common था नहीं.
Yeah.
It was radio and
Yeah.
if someone is big shot तो वो probably आएगा भी नहीं news में.
तो ये सब था. I'm talking about the 52.
Yes.
Not even 52, even earlier than that.
What was your childhood like?
Childhood was, I still think it was the best for me. We were living in community blocks behind Jubilee Cinema, as I told you. तो हमारे ज़माने में तो रेडियो भी नहीं था नहीं. तो I remember my family had the radio. So people used to come over to our house to listen to the radio. Nobody had a phone. The neighbors downstairs had a phone. तो वो भी वो लॉक में रखते थे वो कियर लॉक में. तो हम जब भी we had to use, so we had to put 2 annas. We would open the phone and use it.
पूरे उसमें सिर्फ आपके घर पे रेडियो था.
हाँ, ये पूरा बोलना होता था तो एक वो अलग है. And games में तो गिल्ली डंडा खेलते थे. I was a very kite flying. I was a real tomboy at that time.
And you were athletic also, no?
Yeah, Yeah,
बचपन से ही?
yes, but not field sports. I was in Mama school, so I was very, very athletic, but as I said, not field. I was a junior as well as only girl in Mama school who was the record tennis ki junior champion and senior champion at the same time.
Wow.
Badminton champion single, badminton champion double. Basketball उस ज़माने में होता था, big basketball.
Yes.
I was the captain of the basketball team. And as I said, but not field. Running इसमें तो zero. Long jump, high jump में zero. मैं क्या बताऊँ. Tennis courts होता था, you know, ring का
Yes,
वो.
yes.
हाँ, they call it वो ship पे खेलते हैं, tennis courts ring क्या.
हाँ वो frisbee type
नहीं,
होता
उसका
था?
actually rubber ring होती थी.
हाँ वो जो फेंकते थे जोर से फिर कहीं जाके
You have to bring it. No, you have to catch it. You have to have a knack to catch that.
Okay.
Because it was just like a rubber ring. So I would throw it like this. On the opposite side, I have to catch it.
Oh, that's
If I
hard.
drop it, then the points वही 18-20 की points होती थी. So, and then badminton होता था, badminton hall इसमें होता था. And where every morning we used to have our prayers. That was the first thing. We all used to gather for our prayers. फिर जाके, and there were 4 houses, like each one. Contractor, Puchaji, Mama and Dinshaw, all from the famous. So वो old chandeliers होते थे round वाले. नहीं तो जब भी हम लोग बैडमिंटन खेलते थे, normally throw and वो उसमें जाके गिर जाता था. Oh, चलो सीढ़ी लाओ, then जाके get. You know, those type of things.
Yes.
So, and there was a little stage also. We used to have a little dramas there and things like that. And on days of prize distribution hota tha, so normally some ambassador's wife would come. Liaquat Ali Khan, Begum Liaquat used to visit very often.
What do you remember about Liaquat Ali Khan? Did you meet him somehow?
No, Mrs. Liaquat Ali.
Mrs. Liaquat.
Begum, Rana Liaquat.
Yes.
हाँ,
Did you meet Liaquat Ali Khan also at some point?
No, I don't remember because he died very early, nahi?
Yes.
So he died 1 year after he was also assassinated.
Yes,
no?
yes, he was.
So Rana Liaquat Ali was very, and then their children were my good friends later on, the sons. Through, तो ये सब मेरे को याद है. And so as I said, our was 7 tiles playing. You know 7 tiles?
No.
You know the game?
No, I don't know. I'm from this generation only.
Yeah, you are from 4 generations.
Yes.
So only because of ज़माने में ये कुछ social media कुछ नहीं था, radio भी नहीं था, television भी नहीं था, नहीं. There was no television even at that time.
Yes.
So we used to play those games. The 7 tiles या 7 ये जैसा suppose के पत्थर है नहीं तो 7 पत्थर एक के
Oh, I
ऊपर.
know. देसी में इसको पिट्टू अब कहते हैं. पिट्टू.
Throw the
we have
ball,
to throw them, then we have to
break
build it.
and the other one before
yes.
हाँ.
पिट्टू.
तो we called 7 tiles. वो खेलते थे. फिर उधर another game was bones and balls. आपने कभी सुना है?
No.
There were bones which are from the joints of a goat.
Oh.
So one side was like a snake.
Okay.
One side was the 2 holes. अगर आप कभी भी इसके साथ जाए, one side was flat. ऐसा कहते 4 sides होता. तो we used to throw the bones. अच्छा, अभी मुझे याद भी नहीं है, मगर you have to kick the ball and pick up that. It was called bones and balls.
Oh, such a voodoo game.
Yeah, exactly. फिर in those days the Indian movies there were only Indian movies. The Pakistani movies तो कोई होता भी नहीं था in the 50s. 45-50 में तो वो सारे Babul, Andaz, Didar, Jhansi Ki Rani was the first color picture.
Yes.
You know that, which came in Naz Cinema.
Yes.
Plaza. So we used to go, and that was our weekend.
You go to cinemas on weekend?
It was very close, from going from
Yes.
the walk to Regal Cinema, Plaza Cinema. The furthest was Kaiser, which is on Bandar Road, Kaiser Cinema.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember.
Yes, of course.
And 3 of my Parsi uncles were managers in all these cinemas.
Oh, तो आपको tickets easily
देखिए तो you won't believe, अंदाज तो मैंने कोई 10-12 दफा दिखा होगा. we used to, and this was our another recreation, कि all the 3 or 4 girls would to go there. अभी जाके तो dialogues तो by heart होते थे हमारे. One would be Dilip Kumar, one would be Raj Kapoor, one would be Nargis, one would be Nimmi और वो दूसरी को dancer. And we used to, and पूरा हम लोग ये उसका enact करते थे. And our audiences were our old ladies' neighbors. This was our enjoyment.
This is too good. This is gold.
Yeah.
Can't imagine life like this right now or.
और वो अब जाके बैठ जाते थे नहीं कोई पूछता भी नहीं था हाँ जाओ बैठ जाओ तो all these dialogues we knew by heart. अभी भी ये जो songs आते हैं, even my sister who died last year, she would just listen to these songs, and I even on this YouTube I would listen to these songs.
What's your favorite song?
अंदाज के बहुत अच्छे थे.
कोई एक गाना बता सकते हैं? You can also sing.
No, I can't sing.
You can just recall कर सकते हैं उस गाने.
You have a beautiful voice, man.
I have a beautiful voice, but I can't sing. But I forget the lyrics, so.
Okay. What's the name of the song?
Andaz के. Have you ever seen this movie Andaz?
I think I have, but the most Andaz film I've seen is Andaz Apna Apna, जिसमें सलमान खान
नहीं Andaz Dilip Kumar,
पुरानी movie I don't think I've seen.
Where the story is that Nargis is a very rich man's daughter. वो ज़माने के तो, and she used to go horse riding, and the opening scene is that like she goes horse riding, and then her horse loses control and starts running. So this Dilip Kumar, they were living in the mountains, their houses, and he follows her and saves her. तो उसको वो घर लेके आता है. But little does he know that she's already engaged to Raj Kapoor, who's studying in England.
Wow.
Or Dilip Kumar falls in love with Nargis. And she had a friend, uska naam, she used to be a favorite dancer, but I forget her name, it come back. तो वो दिलीप कुमार के लव में पड़ती है, मगर दिलीप कुमार falls in love with Nargis.
It's a love triangle.
हाँ.
It's a love.
Yeah. It was
a
beautiful movie. And then she's just trying to be thankful to him for saving her life.
Yes.
But he thinks that she is also falling in love. Then suddenly this Raj Kapoor arrives on a plane, and he's the dashing type and all that, and वो शॉक में हो जाता है कि ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है.
Such a good cast.
हाँ. And then in the end she shoots him.
Why?
Because he goes mad.
Oh.
She also has a child, and it's a very nice, if you ever get a chance, and then there is Deedar with again Dilip Kumar, and there's Babul.
So these were Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor were very famous.
Very famous. Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor, Babul. Then there is Kumar. These are Kumar brothers, no? And then there was
Kishore. Kishore came afterwards, right?
Kishore Kumar and all, but uska bada bhai wo.
Haan. He was the one who took him into the industry.
Yeah.
Yes. Kishore Kumar was a good actor also.
Yeah, but much later he came.
Yes.
But these are the only original ones.
So, what, like, you were born in?
I was born. There also is a story. My father and mother had. My father was already married when. First, I'll tell you about my mother. My mother's family came from India, Navsari, Gujarat. And my maternal grandfather, Desai family, had 3 wives, not at the same time.
Okay.
Because the mortality rate at that time, so the first wife died, had a couple of, I don't know, the second wife again, and then he married my grandmother the 3rd time. So when he married my grandmother, they had 5 sisters and 1 brother. My mother was the youngest.
Oh, okay.
And when my mother was born, the eldest sister was already married and had children. So her nieces and nephews were older than her.
What is this family combination?
Yeah, because in those days
Ah.
it was like that. Even child in the Parsis they used to have child marriages. उसको लैब पे बिठाया, उसको छोटे दूसरे को छाप और उसका वो आप लोग बोलते हैं बचपन से उसका ये कर देते हैं.
हाँ, निकाह कर.
Not निकाह but like a
बात पक्की हो गई.
बात पक्की हो गई. तो ऐसे होता था. So then since there were 5 sisters and then the father after my mother was born he dies. So my grandmother had to raise all these girls on her own. And they were not well off or anything, quite poor and living in Navsari. She used to earn her living making these kastis, which is a thread which we Parsis wear, made of 72 fine threads.
Okay.
So she used to weave these kastis and sell them off. And in those days, each kasti was less than 4 annas, which is like 25 paisa, which was a lot of money. So these poor girls used to work till the night in the middle with just diva and earn money. So my grandmother was overwhelmed and she couldn't afford. So usko sabki shadi kara di. Or only 2 of them remained. My mother, who was 12 years old, and another sister who was 14 years old.
Okay.
So and they were quite pretty in their own way. My mother didn't even have her period at that time. So there was a proposal aaya from another rich family. That family had 2 men. One was 35, one was 36. Now I'll tell you, my mother never told me all the stories. Her nieces who were her age, they told me all the stories about my mother. So जब ये proposal आया उसके 2 का, so the elder sister went. When the mother-in-law to be said, हाँ, she's okay, very nice. So she told her, tell your mother, this wool, because wool used to be very nice and pure from where this wool is so pure and nice, I want to see another nice wool also. Meaning they wanted my second daughter also. So when she goes and she tells my mother, go tell Dhanmai, that was my mother's name, they want to see her too. So my poor mother at 12 goes and doesn't know what is happening. So she also says, हाँ ठीक है. After a week they got them married off.
She was 12 years old.
And she was 12 years old and she didn't even have her period. वो तो बेचारी को उसको मम्मी को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं था क्या हो रहा है. और that man was 35 years old. तो वो रात को ही भाग गई घर से. She got scared. Yeah, she just ran away. The marriage was never consummated.
Okay.
And my mamu, who was at that time the only brother, had business in Lahore.
Okay.
When he came to know, he immediately goes to Navsari and tells his mother,
नहीं होगा.
this marriage is null and void. So it was literally null and void. Nothing happened. And he brought my mother and my grandmother to Lahore.
Okay.
So there they stayed. And then she practically raised his children. So the puppi hoti thi. So my mother was like a mother to them. My mamu used to run a little hotel at the same time on Nishtar Road, opposite Nishat Cinema.
Okay.
It was a beautiful bungalow, old bungalow. No drainage, nothing. We used to go for vacation and I'll tell you that story also. So there my father was, at that time was in the railways. He was working as a guard. So there my father was in the railways. So his wife, they had a son who was already like 18, 20 years old. No, 16, 17 maybe, I don't remember. They had a son who used to study in India.
Okay.
Because he was, at that time there was no partition, no
Yes,
nothing,
yes.
India, Pakistan.
What time this is? What year this is?
This is like, I'm talking about the 34, 35.
Okay, 1934, 35.
Yeah. So there, my stepmother, my father's first wife, had meningitis. And she died in Lahore and she's still, in the graveyard there. And my father used to come to Lahore and my mother was there at that time. So then they said कि she's also single and he's a widow and all that. तो उसको arrange करके उसका marriage कर दिया.
Okay, so the second one was also an arranged marriage.
So it was all, in those days it was just like arranged marriages also.
Okay.
So उसकी शादी हो गई, they got married and then they went on a honeymoon to Chaman.
Chaman.
Yeah, because that was his territory. He used to Chaman, Balochistan, Quetta.
Yes.
So 1935, when they were in Chaman, they came 31st of May 1935. Now, you remember why I'm mentioning this, emphasizing on this date? What happened?
No, I don't know.
31st of May 1935, the biggest earthquake in the world happened in Quetta.
Wow.
The biggest in those days, in that generation. 80,000 people died. 8,000 तो Parsis ही थे कोई कितने सारे तो नहीं sorry 800 तो Parsis ही थे. So when they returned, my father and mother, they were put up in the railway quarters there in the cantonment area. तो जब भी earthquake आया रात को कोई 3 बजे आया तो they were buried alive for nearly over 12-15 hours. Nobody knew, but the other Parsis who was related to my father's first wife, they knew him very well, and they knew that they were coming. My father's name was Jahangir, mother was Dhanandi. That they were coming that night. So एकदम से वो मीनू भरूचा करके, there is this lady Roshan Bharucha who was a senator in Quetta very lately. She's still a very active government person in Quetta. तो उसको एकदम से ख्याल आया कि वो देवर जहांगीर अंकल एंड धनांटी आर कमिंग टुनाइट. तो एकदम से भाग के वो गया. अच्छा, when the earthquake came, they were completely covered with this rubble, limestone all around. But luckily, those days, they had these iron beds, iron headboard and iron.
Yes.
So जब भी गिरा, that beam
बच
came,
गया.
the लकड़ी का beam था, it fell across like this. So they were covered completely. उसको by luck, my father managed to get a stick from the vanji का वो. तो उसने ऐसा करके it was up to this height, तो उसने वो किया तो एक hole बनाया एक breathing का.
Oh.
So they started getting some air. And when that Meenu Bharucha, when she realized, he ran there, but he saw nothing but rubble.
Yes.
And he started shouting their names. And suddenly he saw some movement. When he saw the movement, he realized that there's something. So his men came and they brought them out. My father walked out with his pajamas, but my mother's hip was broken. So and my mother was in the hospital for nearly a month. And my mother said that she was in the hospital, there were so many thousands were killed. No way to bury them or anything. So literally, because there were little hills around the hotel, the hospital, उसको जाके सब घासलेट डाला और जला देते थे.
I've read about this incident. I couldn't recall the incident right now
Yeah.
because I was so invested in the honeymoon phase right now.
Your honeymoon?
No, your parents' honeymoon. Because I was like कि नहीं अब story आगे जाएगा and it will be very good and सब अच्छा and shiny होगा यहाँ से, but it's traumatic experience.
Yeah.
If you're going there and
Yeah.
somehow it's
Yeah. So this was
earthquake हो गया.
31st May 1935.
Yes. I can listen to you all day. You
Yeah,
should
and
know
I
that.
can go on for all day.
Because these are the stories जो कि हमें इंटरनेट पे सर्च करने से भी मिलती नहीं है. Because
हाँ.
it's very इतना डॉक्यूमेंट हुआ ही नहीं है
Yeah.
कराची को और पाकिस्तान को itself. I was telling you कि I remember that at one time my friend told me that there was this Parsi lady and she married to a Muslim man. So the community disowned her.
हाँ, वो तो होता ही था.
So why is this norm के community why is
Because they just that old thinking नहीं कि we gave a promise.
to that law?
Yeah.
They signed the law.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, because then she's excommunicated. Because they can't even go to the fire temple, even if she's still a Parsi and married, but she can't go to the fire. Even today she can't.
Okay.
Because that fire is so sacred, they didn't want only the shadows of the pure blooded Parsis.
And no one can convert into Parsi to being
They
a
don't
Parsi
allow
because
but they are allowing because it's a different law, नहीं?
हाँ.
वहाँ पर तो करते हैं. Like for example in which country है Kazakhstan नहीं कौन सी है वहाँ पर there are a lot of Zoroastrians and they are converting.
They're
Yes.
converting it. You can't convert here only
You
because
know,
it's a
no.
law here.
India Pakistan India हमारे से और तो इंडिया में or they are very strict. We are so very relaxed here, but India is very strict still.
Okay, so we were discussing that you were born,
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
in Naseri.
In the 40s, 1940.
Yes, and
I was
and
born.
you were born in Naseri, and
Navsari, and then we came back
yes.
to Karachi, and
Okay.
because Mama school was very close by, that time. वहाँ से निकला नहीं तो Mama school तो.
Mama Parsi school.
So
बहुत करीब.
our school hours were like from 9 to 12 in those days. 1 hour lunch break, and then 1 to 3 again.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I didn't go to Montessori, but my sister did go. Very famous, actual the Montessori,
Yes,
Maria
yes.
Montessori, uski thi. Wahan she studied. But I was a little weak child, so I was pampered. So they did send me. But I went to school when I was 6 years old. 6 साल की थी, हाँ. वो kindergarten. फिर kindergarten, that is pre. Then class 1, class 2 and class 3. The basic language was Gujarati. No English. English was the second language.
And then
Radiant
Urdu
Way.
came.
Huh?
Then Urdu came.
The Radiant Way was the name. I don't know if that was the one ABC. So हमारी English my English was not, because at home we used to speak in Gujarati. My mother couldn't speak English. She was a graduate from Navsari school, and she used to get silver vessels as prizes, and she was so good in Gujarati that her maths was in absolute high Gujarati maths, which you and I can not even think, the way she used to calculate. So she never had in Navsari, they had no English. She went to Tata Girls' School, the Tata School.
Okay.
Yeah. So she couldn't speak English. So we all were talking always in Gujarati at home. So my English was absolutely zero practically, till I went to.
Mama.
Then from class 4, the language Gujarati was out. There was still Gujarati for religious purpose, religious classes, but then was in English. I could hardly talk in English at that time. I remember that one of our neighbors was he was a secretary at the Karachi Aero Club. So he said, "Come on, I'll take you girls." In those days, वो अंग्रेज लोग होते थे as members. Talking about literally pre-partition time.
Yes.
So my sister and I, when we were happy, and we got to the Cessna, वो उधर बैठा था. My sister and I were, तो उसने take off कर लिया. पूछा अंग्रेज वो क्या बोल रहा था? I couldn't understand what he was saying.
गुजराती में बोले तो समझ भी आया.
Well, it was like that. It was self-taught. It was so. But now, see, girls, there is Kemari here on that. So हमने बोला, instead of saying yes, I would say no. So my sister said, no, now say yes. So वो ऐसी type की थी नहीं, that time. So that was my first experience in the aircraft, and then came English, and then everything was in English, and then we had after class 7 we had French was compulsory.
Okay.
Yeah. So we studied French for 3-4 years, but वो भी ऐसा ही, because a teacher was a Parsi, but she was very good in French.
The fact that it was taught also.
Yeah,
in these
I could
schools.
I could read, but that I couldn't understand. But ठीक वो ही चलता था, और फिर मैट्रिक बस, that's all.
What do you remember about partition?
The partition time, yes, this I remember also very well. It's a very, very clear memory I have. The day partition took place, and those people who are our neighbors opposite, Hindus, Muslims, Marath, Kathiawadi, जो भी होता था, they suddenly became enemies. And in front of they cut, gala kaat ke Hindu Muslims, or they threw them in that nala. I've seen it with my own eyes. वो सब एकदम से ये हो गए. कैसे क्या होता था? There was a massacre. Absolute.
Before this, they were living peacefully.
Yes, absolutely peacefully. हमारा भाई was a famous electrician. उसका aero stores करके होता था, ERO करके, electrical stores opposite. He was considered the best electrician in those days. He had a Sikh partner. The day it came where he just gave the keys to my brother, says now all yours, and he ran away. He couldn't stay here. Because the Sikh bhi tha nahi involved, they were after the Sikhs also. Because the parents used to talk, bahar nahi jana, samalna, ye hai. It was horrible. It was horrible. I can't tell you. कि कैसे how people change. एक दिन your भाई बहन है, या दूसरे दिन they are absolute enemies. And then those refugees who came, it was terrible for them. इतने आ गए थे. Karachi was full of it. So जो हमारा जो रास्ता था एकदम like it was pristine, clean. It was, they used to shit outside our house. They didn't have any
There was no infrastructure,
lavatory,
there was no-
nothing, कुछ नहीं था. वो उसका कपड़े का वो बनाया, जुग्गी बनाया, वहीं आके सामने नहाते थे, वहीं टट्टी करते थे, वहीं पेशाब करते थे. All that thing used to go into the नाला. कितना भी हम लोग ऊपर से करे, भुमरी में लगाए. But then in the end we had to put a wall there. इतना गंदगी के. There used to be NJV High School there, remember? Beautiful area, flowers everywhere. सब काट कुट करके ख़त्म कर दिया. So this is, and then I started school, and फिर वो तो school भी at 1 o'clock I literally, and we used to get our lunch in school. We had a big hall where all girls used to sit down and have lunch from our tiffin boxes. किसी का या चोरी कर दिया, किसी का फल ले लिया, किसी के, तो ऐसा होता था. But I used to practically run to the house, have my lunch and come back. It was so close by. And then when I finished school, I was 16 or 17, I don't remember. My parents gave me a present to go to India, Bombay.
Okay, this is interesting.
So there was this two ships, Sabarmati and Saraswati. There were
Sabarmati and Saraswati.
There were two ships. They used to run between India and between Karachi and Bombay.
Yes.
It used to take 2 days, 2.5 days practically. So when I went, it was just after my school, so it was like March, April, tacha, dariya. And then the tickets in those days, mostly we used to sit, places थी वो उसके ऊपर, डेक के ऊपर. हाँ, तो डेक के ऊपर वो पूरा ये होता था, ट्रंक होती थी, तो ट्रंक वॉज योर पार्टीशन. तो दूसरी बाजू में दूसरा आदमी है, वो ब्लैंकेट बिछाया, वो होल्डर था, तो वो. And then I went to Bombay. But there I stayed with my chacha and his family, because और जाके से मेरे 2-3, I stayed for nearly 3 months. My pocket money was 200 rupees. इसके अंदर I had to do shopping, खाना पीना, present जो भी, 200 rupees in those days was a lot of money. Anyway, I had a good time. But coming back, and that time there was the Asian flu, one of the worst flus in the world.
Yes.
तो वहाँ मुझे flu भी हुआ. I was very sick. But anyway, when I came back, it was July, month of July. I can imagine the sea.
Yes, it's storming out there.
So, and those days, there were no mangoes, bananas. यहाँ कुछ नहीं होता था, नहीं. वो तो बाद में सब ये Karachi, Pakistan had hardly any mangoes or hardly any bananas. So what we used to get as gifts, तो टोकरे लंबे, इतने बड़े बड़े टोकरे आते थे वो उसके. हाँ, तो पूरा वो एक बनाना का, एक कैरी का, एक आम का, ऐसा कर, तो उसमें भरा वो मैंने ले लिया. तो वो जब भी स्टॉर्म आया तो वो तो कहाँ जाता था वो भी. और I got so sick. So that was my experience. But as a childhood, since my father was in the railways, we used to, all our holiday, summer and winter vacations were in Lahore.
I have so many questions.
Yes.
When you went to Bombay and you were visiting after you graduated from school, right? So you always had family in India.
Lots of them.
Lots of family. How it affected after the partition, like the communication? No? It didn't affect anything?
Nothing. The visas were so easily obtainable at that time also. Very easy. There was no question about it.
Okay, and how was your life in Bombay in those months? Like how you used to party?
I even got pictures of with my cousins in Navsari. When I went there for my holidays,
Yes.
that first, it was wonderful because they were my nieces and nephews, actually, who were my age, even older to me because they were
Older than your mother
mother
also,
and all
yes.
that. So, and I was their aunt, but since I was even younger than I was part of I went, they came with me all over. We went to Navsari, we went to Udwara, and I went with them all over India. I mean, nearby places. So it was just wonderful. And then this is from my mother's side, and from my father's side, because my father's brother and his family lived there. So I stayed there first, and then I went to these cousins of mine who treated me like my cousin treated me like her daughter. So for me, it was, she used to drive an old Chevrolet, convertible, with heels like this. She used to take me all over.
And because at that point, film industry was also somehow establishing in India.
Yeah. But I was not that...
Good films were coming out.
Yes.
Pop culture was on top
yes,
at that point.
yes.
What was the fashion culture back then?
Fashion culture in Pakistan or in India?
Pakistan and India, it's almost the same at that point of time, no?
पर यहाँ पर तो जो fashion था तो because the industry was the film industry was mainly concentrated in Lahore.
Yes,
Karachi में तो कुछ भी नहीं था नहीं. तो Lahore में I'll come back to that also. There was when we were in school there was a girl called Amy Minwala. She was a dancer, very famous dancer.
Okay.
उसका भी फोटो है मेरे पास. तो her mother used to train her to dance. And they used to live, अभी भी वो बिल्डिंग है प्लाजा सिनेमा, I think it is still there. वो वहाँ रहते थे वो लोग on the 3rd floor. So, and she used to, since she was a very good dancer at the age of 15, 16, तो उसको माँ ने उसको बस dancer ही बना दिया था. She didn't want. She literally used to hit her. उसको and she was very pretty and she had a natural so they used to have shows here like NED college के लिए होता था, all these big institutes. So she used to have these shows, dancing shows. She used to dance and normal में क्या वो करते हैं dance में आते हैं and there's all these young girls are sitting. So we were like the young girls sitting in our these fancy garara and this, and I've got, as I said, a picture of that too. So she used to dance, and that's how.
When did you came back to Karachi, and you were 16 years old.
Yeah, then
right?
I was 17 years old.
17 years old. What time this is?
57.
57.
So when it was 57, my parents couldn't afford to send us to college.
Okay.
To my sister and I. My sister was a year and a half older. She was very lucky because they just couldn't afford. So my sister got a job in an American construction company. In those days, they made those Mangla Dam, Tarbela Dam and all that.
Great.
Called Oman Farnsworth Wright. ये American company थी. And they had an office in वो कौन सा बिल्डिंग है near कराची पोर्ट ट्रस्ट के बराबर में वो लाल बिल्डिंग क्या है टावर व्हाट
वो टावर ही है
नहीं
the light
नहीं as you go up the bridge
yes
Kabari bridge
yes KPT
के बराबर में वो लाल बिल्डिंग है very tall.
I can't recall it, but I've seen it.
So their office used to be Oban Farnsworth Wright and all American. So they needed secretaries. So she नई स्कूल में आई थी तो सब all these Parsi girls, in those days there was a big demand for Parsi secretaries, because नया था, the Muslims girls were not allowed to work, they couldn't speak English, और सारे जब जैसे स्कूल में से निकले short and typing सीख लिया. Xavier's Institute.
So Parsis were in demand.
So the girls were in so much demand that jobs were like that. So naturally, and you won't believe what her salary in 1957 was.
What?
$200
Per month.
per month. $200, it was like a jackpot, no?
It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that too in dollars, huh?
Mm.
Or they used to, or American bosses होते थे.
Mm.
One of the bosses got married to an Anglo-Indian also. कहा कि वो secretary थी, उसके साथ ही शादी की. उसका भी photo है मेरे पास.
Mm.
So, and they used to get all these commissary का वो सामान आता था. Hershey's chocolates, drinks, that
सब
पूरा
free आ रहा
ham,
है।
bacon, पूरा कैंटीन वो लेके आती थी.
ऐश हो रही है अब सबके घर में।
एकदम ऐश हो रही थी. So she worked there for 2-3 years.
Mm.
And so that was good. And then when I came back,
Mm.
I also wanted to work, so I started. हाँ, दूसरा था पारसी गर्ल्स के साथ कि जैसा छोड़ा तो वो स्कूल में टीचर होती थी.
Why?
Because we had to learn shorthand typing.
Oh.
School timing was from like 9 to 12 or 1. तो फिर afternoon में we used to go for shorthand typing. So this was our routine, Parsi girls' routine. So I started, I got a job in Marikalasa School, which was opposite grammar school. एक कोने पे ऐसा था. अभी तो पता नहीं क्या है उधर. तो वहाँ, the days were we were so short of
Give me this.
cash.
Rag do?
It's all right. फिर आप देख लेना. That I couldn't even afford. I used to walk up to Said Manzil. कभी कभी हाथ में आ गए 2-4 आने आए. So I used to walk up to Said Manzil, take a tram and get off at Naz Cinema. Otherwise, first of all, every morning I used to walk right from Panchadwari, right up to Naz Cinema and there, or grammar school, teach there, and walk back. Now you know the distance.
Yes, so much walking. I'm just.
High heels like that. In those days were skirts and all that. Phir, I used to come home at about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, give tuitions. 8-10 साल के वो भी सब neighbors के थे. They used to give 15 rupees
Per month.
each one. तो थोड़ा वो pocket money होता था. And my salary in the school was 100 rupees. So I used to keep 10 rupees for myself and बाकी का मम्मी को देती थी for खर्च के लिए.
और उस वक्त 10 रुपए में आता क्या क्या था?
I used to take my hair, दर्जी का, सबका, everything I had to take care of it. Sometimes कभी से मम्मी से ले लिया कर लिया. और ये वो जो उसका 30-40 rupees ट्यूशन में आता था वो मेरा एक खर्चे का होता था. So you can imagine for 1 year I did that. Then somebody said that somebody is looking for a secretary cum assistant in TWA. TWA was American Airlines, like Transworld Airlines. And that office was in where today is PI Cargo Office. So the first floor पे there were 2-3 rooms given to these. तो हम TWA को एक रूम दिया था. अभी कभी मेरे ज़माने में कभी एयरलाइन में मैंने काम नहीं किया था.
So you skipped college?
No, I didn't go to college.
Yeah, you skipped it
Yeah.
and you started working.
Work immediately. First to do teaching.
Yes.
And then
to
after
the TWA.
Then TWA somebody said because the sister of the manager there was my very good friend and a teacher. And she was my favorite teacher. And she said, Zarin, my brother is looking for a secretary. I said, go there. So I tell you, this man was the worst airline manager I've seen. He didn't know a damn thing. इतना ब्रैक करता था, इतना ब्रैक पर उसकी हैबिट ही थी. मुझे क्या पता था? I didn't know. तो मैं तो गई तो उसने बोला हाँ ठीक है अब आ जाओ. My salary was 200 rupees.
That's good.
हाँ तो फिर भी वो भी चल के जाना पड़ता था और चल के आती थी. Then this was even further. Metropole कभी कभार.
तो अभी तो इस टाइम पे तो ट्रैम्स भी थे ये सारी
But
चीजें.
still I had to save some money from the beginning. I was a very conservative.
You had to save money.
Yes, I had to save money. वो अभी 10 एक आना भी हुआ तो डब्बा बनाया था उसमें डाल देती थी. तो जब भी when I started working there, they had to call because we were under Bombay. The regional office was
in
Bombay.
Bombay.
So एक वहाँ कोई मद्रासी था, very clever man. So they sent him specially to train me. तो उसने मुझे ट्रेन किया. वो ज़माने में तो कुछ नहीं था, नहीं वो मैनुअल देखो वहाँ कंप्यूटर भी नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था, nothing. So literally to send messages, I had to write messages by hand, take it downstairs to KLM office, where there was CETA. CETA was the telecommunication system in those days, where the only system where you used to collect telexes from all airlines, राइट करके वो वहाँ भेजते थे, और दे यूज्ड टू सेंड इट टू डिफरेंट. तो पूरा इवनिंग में जाके फिर उसकी कॉपी हम लोग लेके आते थे.
So much hassle to send a message.
कोई भी मैसेज अगर रिजर्वेशन का है, किसका है मैसेज, ज़माने में तो एक था ही नहीं सिस्टम नहीं. तो दैट वाज द ओनली वन. सीटा SIT है, इट्स अ फ्रेंच कंपनी इफ यू सी. तो दिस वाज द प्रैक्टिस. कैन यू इमेजिन दैट? अच्छा, वो आदमी आया, मुझे उस बड़ा दिखाए, अभी तो अच्छा ठीक है, मैंने तो वो बड़ा मैनुअल दिखाए किया. पूरा कोई 2 दिन में तो कुछ सीख नहीं सकती नहीं मैं. सो वो तो चले गया. फिर एंड बीइंग TWA दे हैड गुड अमेरिकन क्या बोलते हैं अकाउंट्स. तरबेला का था, वहाँ पर काम करते थे बिग अमेरिकन पीपल. तो पैन एम के साथ थोड़ा था, थोड़ा TWA के साथ था. So there was a very good account. He came, this man, sent a letter to my boss, ke my family and I, 6 of us, we are going around the world. Please keep this is the itinerary, please keep it ready. I'll come on so and so day and come and collect the ticket. अभी मेरे को इधर 2-3 महीने भी नहीं हुए थे, मैं तो खुद थोड़ा बड़ा सीख लिया था मैंने तो वो ने उसने मुझे दिया. तो बोला अच्छा मैं बना लूँगी. मैं भी कॉन्फिडेंस कोई थोड़ा तो आ गया था. वो तो देख के मुझे चले गया. तो मैंने सब बनाया, मैनुअल खोला. अब यू वोंट बिलीव, वो मैनुअल खोला तो पहले उसने को कराची, बॉम्बे, कलकत्ता, बैंकॉक, पूरा अराउंड द वर्ल्ड बैक टू कराची. तो मैंने तो मैनुअल उठाया, मैंने लिखा कराची बॉम्बे 200 रुपीज़, बॉम्बे टू कलकत्ता 400 रुपीज़ करके ऐसा राउंड द वर्ल्ड का तो कोई 7,000 रुपया बन गया उस ज़माने में.
7,000 is a lot.
अच्छा नहीं, वो नहीं चले गया. वो ने उससे हमने बोला देखो हाँ सही, वेरी गुड. वो तब चले गया. मैं भी एकदम खुश हो गई. मैं कहा माय गॉड, आई हैव डन अ गुड जॉब.
ट्रेनर भी अच्छा था, 2 दिन में सब सिखा दिया.
वो आया कि यस सर आई गॉट इट. तो मैंने उसको दिखाया, उसको तो पूरा ही वेंट बैकवर्ड. सेड आई थिंक देयर इज समथिंग रॉन्ग. फिर मुझे भी कुछ हुआ कि मेरे ख्याल से मैंने कुछ गलती की. अभी पैन में वहाँ एक पिंटो करके आता, पीटर पिंटो करके, नाम तो ये सब याद है. और कभी भी कुछ होता था वो बेचारा मुझे हेल्प करता था. तो मैंने बोला पीटर आई एम सॉरी बट आई गॉट दिस क्लाइंट बट आई थिंक आई डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, कि मुझे भेज दो, मेरे पास भेज दो. हमने बोला चलो जान छुट्टी. तो 6 फर्स्ट क्लास पैन टू गो. मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ बिकॉज आई. और उसने वो मेरा बॉस आया, उसने पूछा भी नहीं, मैंने उसको बोला भी नहीं कुछ.
So what? How वो mistake सही कैसे हुआ?
Actually, you have to, in those days, you have to take the miles. इतना mile allow है. You see, if you are within the mile, you don't count, calculate each sector and then.
Oh, of course, the price will go high.
Yeah, so if you are within that mile, then if you suppose Karachi, San Francisco is 500 rupees, so if you are within the miles, it's 500 rupees ही रहता है. अगर इतना ऊपर जाता है तो कुछ परसेंटेज अभी याद आया मुझे. तो मैक्सिमम वुड हैव बीन अबाउट 2,000 or 3,000.
और आपने क्या बना दिया 7,000 रुपये का?
Another was one first incident I'll also tell you. कि जब भी वो reservation जब भी आता है नहीं किसी का, somebody the agent calls or तो उससे बोला कि I want to make a reservation because it was all offline in those days. कराची से तो नहीं था, नहीं बेरूत से mostly था. तो उसने बोला कि I want to make a reservation. तो मैंने वो कार्ड लिया, नाम लिखा, give me the name. तो उसने बोला okay write it down. तो उसने बोला okay write Peter, Harry, Roger, Navy. I said please go slow, I can't write. क्या कर रहा है Miss Mystery? I said I'm writing P. कि नहीं, P for Peter, H for. I felt so bad.
You were very bad at your job at first.
And that's how I learned. And
Yes, of course.
then came Alitalia. When Alitalia came again, new airlines, Lufthansa, Alitalia, Air France, all coming and they were looking. So उस ज़माने में रूसी खौरी करके होता था. He was the Air India manager, and the office used to be in Metropole Hotel, first floor. So जब ये Alitalia आई, they also took one of the rooms because then we went to downstairs office. तो उसने मुझे फ़ोन किया कि ज़रीन, by that time एक साल जब ये एयरलाइन में होते हैं तो people know.
You've made connections.
Yeah, and then वो पारसी mostly वो एयरलाइन में सारे पारसीज ही थे. तो I went there. So 2 Italians थे, आए थे 2-3 Italians थे, इंटरव्यू किया. उसने बोला खाली बात की, didn't ask me क्या एक्सपीरियंस है क्या नहीं. So will you wear a sari? Because they were introducing India-Pakistan route.
Okay.
So I said yes. ठीक है. From next month you join us. The salary went to 400 rupees.
तरक्की हो गई.
Yeah, but by that time I had enough confidence also. तो वहाँ भी फिर I had some थोड़ा.
And which year was this?
This was in 1958.
1958. And you were around
18.
18 years old.
18 years old. So when I started, I was on the reception. तो वो फिर duty होती थी मगर. There were one condition was that it was round the clock, because जब भी एयरलाइन आती थी, so रात को भी कभी हुए ज़माने में वो एयरपोर्ट पे इतना facilities नहीं था. So I agreed. So the one duty 1 month was 9 to 5, the other duty was 5 to 12, but they used to provide transportation. तो मैं रात को जाके भी बैठती थी. पहले तो वो फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे था. उस ज़माने में जी भी स्टार्ट नहीं था मगर when we went downstairs it was. But when I was on the first floor, my neighbor was Noorjan, the actress.
Wow.
And her daughter was that she used to leave the daughter with me. Because वो जाती थी तो वो मेरे पास आके खेलती थी.
How was Noorjan as a person?
Very nice. She was very nice. Very nice and she was. And we became good friends. So, I met personalities in my life also. So, फिर then we went downstairs and then रात को जब भी first floor पे होता था नहीं, तो वो तो बोर हो जाती थी. मैं क्या करूँ भी रात को भी तो वो बाहर वो जो होता है पैसेज वे, तो वहाँ बाहर जाके वो इसके पर दीवार पे बैठ जाती थी और नीचे वो कैमरेज होते थे. I used to watch that.
Nice.
नाइट क्लब होती थी. तो रात को बैठ के वहाँ 12 बजे तक फिर घर चली जाती थी.
How did you meet your husband?
My husband, as I said that my boyfriend went away, I was very
You were heartbroken.
quite heartbroken. In those days there was no communication, nothing.
So there was no chance of long distance per se.
But then that's another big story, long story.
You can tell. It's okay.
तो वो तो चले गया and I was heartbroken and his family was not in favor of it because I was living in, and they were from a little higher class family. They had high hopes for the son marrying Kadawala or big family, so she was not in favor. And I think he was so brainwashed, so he just goes away. I even go to the airport to see him off, and then I don't hear from him at all. So for about a year or so too, I was quite heartbroken. And then I started working in Alitalia, and I met my husband there because he used to come to see his friend who was the chief accountant of Hotel Metropole.
Okay.
So my office was just next door. He already had a girlfriend who was about his age and all. She was a widow. He started showing interest in me. But I was not paying any interest. But suddenly one day it happened that I fell in love, and then we got married. My parents were against it, but after all, everything was all right. So 17 years difference.
But you didn't marry suddenly, right? Afterwards,
No.
first they met. So how? I want to know about your dating days.
My dating stage. In those days, people would say, there's a dance at KPI. Will you come with me? So, okay. I nothing like a boyfriend, girlfriend. So it's a date. वो बोलते हैं, sometimes the boys जिससे क्या बस अभी और ज़बान भी अभी भी होता है कि 10:30 के पहले तो कोई पार्टी में नहीं जाता है, तो वही होता था. तो वो चले गए वहाँ, डांस किया, मज़ा किया.
So this was your first date, dancing at KPI with him?
There was With my husband? No,
Yes.
no, he was not a KPI. That was much later.
Okay.
That was no. In those days, we were all their friends, young boys and all. मेरा कोई boyfriend था. After my boyfriend left me, I had no serious boyfriend. We were I was just dating for as a partner, you know, किसी dancing के partner बस ऐसा खूब dance करते थे, rock and roll, cha cha cha, and it was beautiful. I tell you, अभी भी मुझे बोलो तो I can do any type of dancing. तो ऐसा होता और फिर I met my husband when I was about 23, 24 ये टाइम पे हुआ 25 practically हुआ था वो भी 1-2 साल चला and then we decide then I fell in love with him.
How was your first date? Where did you guys go?
Where did we go? I think we had a sort of a क्या बोलते हैं he had a friend who's जो friend के through इसका भी girlfriend था so we used to go like dual couple करके we you know in those days and then later on go to Chinese or just dinner nothing really fancy कभी dance हुआ तो Metropole में होता था you know every Saturday we used to go to Metropole in those days I was not but we were just as friends वहाँ पर dinner नहीं होता we just go there have a Coca-Cola, dance, cabaret hota tha. Spend maximum 10-15 rupees, come home. Then used to be at Excelsior, there used to be nude shows. Striptease, pura striptease in Excelsior Hotel.
Okay, that's something I haven't heard.
Yeah. Striptease in Excelsior Hotel.
Okay.
There, who used to come? Acha, there was also La Gourmet where today Sheraton Hotel. Gourmet karke nightclub tha in Palace Hotel. Now I'm talking about this is like in the 50s, early 58, 59, 60 type ka. So wahan par Gourmet pe bhi all these hotels used to have cabaret shows, no? Metropole, Beach Luxury, everywhere. I don't remember.
So they were on a tour and they have to
tour. तो वो Metropole में
Karachi.
होता था, Beach Luxury पे होता था, Dizzy Gillespie show, very famous. फिर याद भी नहीं आता है but all famous bands all famous shows used to be here तो वहाँ जाते थे and what else was I saying yes just to and then after Saturday Saturday program was go have dinner somewhere go to cinema mostly Palace was the famous one Paradise पे होता था my first English movie was at Paradise Cinema.
Okay. Which movie that was?
It was a mystery movie. I know that. Then Capitol में होता था. Capitol में वो आया था famous Rex Cinema में. Rex Cinema में वो famous
So many famous personalities used to visit Pakistan and
yes.
you know.
This one Eva Gardner came to do my Bhavani Junction with Stuart Granger. We went to see her. Then I met Frank Sinatra.
Oh, tell me how. I'm very excited.
That was when I was in Alitalia. Swissair used to be our neighbors. The manager, the sales manager, we used to come and visit each other and all. Tonight Frank Sinatra is coming on Swissair. So उस ज़माने में old airport होता था नहीं Rotunda होता था. So I said really? He said yeah you want to come? I'm going to see him because as a representative. I said okay I'll pick you up. तो हम लोग गए तो और in those days we used to go right up to the aircraft and all you know. तो अंदर रोटंडर में गए वो पैसेंजर लाउंज में अंदर तक गए we went in the bus वो उधर से उतरा आगे आके बैठा the worst personality I've seen in my life such arrogance I can't tell you.
What happened?
First of all वो इधर बैठा था his hands were like a girl's hands not manly at all.
He was waxed or what?
Yeah, wax and very, very, that put me off completely. And then he was so arrogant the way he talked back and, मुझे उस दिन से उससे नफरत हो गई. Very
so what
arrogant.
did he do that you hate him so much?
His arrogance just disturbed me.
दिल से उतर गया.
हाँ दिल उतर गया बिल्कुल. तो फिर this I said I've met वो एवा गार्डनर को दूर से देखा और सब she was nice and Stuart Granger वो भवानी जंक्शन के लिए आए थे. Then no, I don't know if that Shah of Iran was the first one to be the guest at Metropole Hotel.
Yes, I know.
Then Eisenhower came. Yeah. तो वहाँ पर भी आते थे लुफ्तांजा के काफ़ी there were quite many personalities, but I don't remember. Yes. So yes, where were we now?
Okay, so we were in 60s
Yeah.
and
Then we used to go after visiting these nightclubs and all that, have Coca-Cola. Then go to the airport. There were the Midway House, KLM, because the hotels, they were for the crew members, The Midway House was the KLM crew, British Airways, BOAC. Midway House was the British crew. Lufthansa ke crew used to stay at Metropole. Then there was another airline, Swiss Air ka tha. Swiss Air ka bhi, sorry, Metropole mein tha. So anyway, we used to go there. In those days, we used to go and have ham sandwiches and coffee. That was our routine. 10-15 रुपए का ham sandwich की plate आती थी. Have that, have coffee or drinks and come home. So I remember that once we ordered ham sandwiches and we said how much it is. So he said 15 रुपए का. I said no, we can't afford that. I said चलो 10 रुपया दे दो. So he pocketed the money. And then used to go and sit on the rotunda and watch the planes coming and going. And
because I remember at my time also there was a gallery
yeah.
at airport, लेकिन अब वो gallery नहीं है, अब वो खत्म हो चुका है.
I'm talking about the 50s and
yes,
the
yes,
60s.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
So I just can imagine कि उस वक्त क्या ही अच्छा airport होगा हमारा. And do you remember anything from the 65 war?
65 में
71 में we separated actually because
yeah,
East
71
and West.
के that I remember because
Yes.
that was my first birthday of my son. 16
Oh.
December 1971. 65 का war में I remember we were somewhere in KD at somebody's house and we heard and there was a blackout and for 2-3 days. Yes. And the planes went, we literally had a blackout and we had to there used to be sirens and shut all the lights and all, and sometimes even it was scary.
What were you guys thinking at that point that what
Because
would happen?
I think they came right up to the Kebari
Yes.
at that time also.
Yes.
And I think they tried to empty the aircraft. It happened, the incident happened. They burnt one of the tanks, nahi?
Yes, yes.
वहाँ पर.
Yes.
वो भी quite, and then we went to see it also, I remember.
They claim that they tried to burn the port or
yes,
also.
Yes,
Yeah.
that I vaguely remember. But 71 I remember very well. 71 ka to, we were staying in, at that time, opposite Holy Family Hospital, Jamshed Bagh Parsi ka hai nahi? तो वहाँ हम लोग रहते थे and my son was just turning 1. He was born 16 December 1970, so 71 में ये हुआ. So my brother and his family used to live in this Parsi colony where I live just now, here. So my brother said, no, why didn't you come over here? Because you never know. You are on the second floor and then, so you come and stay here. So जिस दिन हम लोग आए, उस रात that night only a house was bombed. Just outside our gate. So we said, here we are coming from there and here it happened.
So it was like Karachi was bombed at...
Yes, the one house was bombed because it's not bombed because they were trying to run away and they were throwing their ammunition. So वो ammunition गिरा वो घर पे. Live bomb. So that's why it was. Just as you come out of the gate, it's the third or the fourth house.
Wow.
And whenever the sirens came, we used to go under the staircase or under the tables.
So I remember...
when were you born?
I was born in '98, so I'm much late. But I've read about it because
Yeah.
I'm a nerd of history.
Yeah.
Um,
And we celebrated my son's birthday on the terrace. So just before dark and when the lights go out, so we cut his cake on the terrace. Uh, then he was 1 year old.
what happened at that point when East and West Pakistan separated? Did it impact you personally, or what did you observe in your surroundings?
But it was definitely because Bhutto wanted to be the prime minister.
Yeah.
So because of his
And General Yahya
obsession,
was
and General Yahya was
arrogant. Yeah.
and because this one Mujibur Rahman got the most votes, and rightfully he should have been the prime
Yes.
minister.
And of course, because at that point, 1 year before, there was a huge, devastating flood in East Pakistan. I
yes,
remember.
yes,
So
that also was.
yes, it was flood, and right here the headlines were about Shahnaz Gul, the socialite Shahnaz Gul. She was found in the room of some poet. I don't remember the name, but it was very famous thing. जहाँ पे she was called a society girl at that point. It was a very famous scandal
With
at that
Yahya?
point. No, not with Yahya. So there was this famous poet. He was found dead in his room, and साथ में उनको शहनाज गिल मिली थी. She was a socialite उस time पे.
I seem to recollect, but
Yes,
because,
if I can recall the name of the poet, you'll remember. She
so
was also
what was actually the incident? So what has that to do with the partition?
so the partition at the same time.
Sorry,
that-
no, about
Yes.
the separation of
Yes.
East and West.
So at
Pakistan.
this time only, when the headlines has to show about the floods,
They showed this incident.
They showed this. So I was reading about it, and there are some articles because ज़ाहिर सी बात है ये gossip था. It was something
So more
gossipy.
interesting news than
Yes.
East Pakistan.
And people were dying there actually because वहाँ पे floods हो रहे हैं, and वो है खाने का shortage है
But
and
look
everything.
where they've gone and look where we are.
Yes, and I always wanted someone जिससे मैं बात कर सकूं who has witnessed this time.
Bhutto wanted to be the prime minister, so he gave up half the country for his ego. And
Of course. What happened afterwards when Bhutto put a ban on?
because he wanted the votes from the mullahs.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
That's all. And he wanted those votes, and that's why he came in also.
But there was a sudden change in lifestyle of all beings here, right? Because people used to go out, people used to
This
do.
casino was built
Yes.
especially for that. We were all looking forward to it. We were having the best times of our lives going these nightclubs, and also, although it was a very, Bhutto used to be there at Gourmet every weekend. I've seen he and his wife. I've seen him with my own eyes. Only thing the club would earn money was they would put a bottle of whiskey there, have an hostess. Already they were used to be Russian girls and all. Go and sit with them. So that bottle of whiskey would probably cost in those days 200 rupees, but they would pay 2,000 rupees. So that was the earning, nothing else.
Okay.
And they used to dance. All the rich people, all the rich and the Liaquat Ali's, not the sons, but that Bhutto clan.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
that Bhutto used to chill there,
Yes, chill there every weekend.
and then somehow he banned all the places
Yeah.
where you can chill. What do you think killed Pakistan? Because you've seen so much, you've lived life. What do you think?
Islamization. Sorry.
What was the turning point in the history when this all happened and our lives were not the same?
I first blame Bhutto, then Ziaul Haq, and then all these other chores that followed.